everybody, my name's Helen, and today I have my January book haul for you. Now I do want to mention, if you did see my 2015 resolutions video, you saw that what I want to do this year is only buy continuations to series that I need to finish, or buy new releases. This haul does not comply with that. I had gift cards for my local bookstores, and I had an Amazon gift card that I had to use. So these are all books that did not actually cost me anything, so they don't count. So the first two books I have are actually books that finish off a series that I have, and they are Spiritbound and The Last Sacrifice, both by Richelle Mead, and these are the 5th and 6th books in the Vampire Academy series. I still need to read book 4, but I've loved books 1 through 3, and I just really want to continue on with the series, so now I own the whole thing, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this series will end. The next book I have is one that I am stupidly excited to read, and it is Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson. I have been trying to find a Morgan Matson book forever, other than Since You've Been Gone, because I feel like if I'm going to start with her books, I want to read some of her older stuff first. Particularly, I really want to read Amy and Roger's Epic Detour, but I've heard amazing things about this book as well, so I finally picked it up, and it just sounds amazing. It's about this girl and her family, and I think it's her dad is diagnosed with terminal cancer, so they go to their old beach house that they used to go to every summer for the last time to kind of have a final summer together. So it's going to be sad, and it's going to break my heart, but I have such high hopes for this to be as beautiful as everyone says, and I'm really excited to pick it up. The next book I have is one that has had a lot of hype here on BookTube lately, and that is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr, and everyone who's read this so far seems to love it, and when I found the paperback, I had to buy it. And this is like a World War II novel with a Nazi and this girl, and I can't remember if she's blind or deaf, but I think she's deaf. The next book that I have is another one that I've heard nothing but amazing things about, and that is The Winter's Curse by Marie Rutkoski. I did just haul another book by her, The Shadow Society, which I'm also really excited to read, but this just sounds so interesting, and the cover is gorgeous. The next book that I have is Sisters Red by Jackson Pierce, which is the first book in her fairy tale retelling sort of series, and this is a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood, and it's about Scarlet and Rosie, who are sisters, and they hunt werewolves. And it sounds super cool, and I think it was Kat from Catty-tastic who really enjoyed this, and I'm really excited to pick it up. The next book I have is one that I should have bought years ago and just never did, and that's The Princess Bride by William Golding. This is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I haven't read the book. The next book that I have is Bloodlines by Richelle Mead, and this is book 1 of the Bloodlines series, which is a spin-off of Vampire Academy, and since I'm down to the last 3 books, and I own them all now, I figured I might as well start collecting this series. I won't buy any more in the series until I read this one though and see how I feel about it. I know that this follows more Adrian, and I love Adrian. Oh, what I would give for Adrian. The next book that I have is The Book of Ivy by Amy Engel, I believe is how you say her last name. And you know, every time I saw this cover in a video, I thought it was so ugly, but you see it in person, and it's actually a lot prettier than it looks. There's 2 different classes of people, and it's like the people who won the war and the people who lost the war. This is about Ivy, who has to marry the president's son, and she is tasked with killing him. The next book that I have is The Hand of the Goddess by Tamora Pierce, and this is book 2 in the Song of the Lioness Quartet. I read Alana the First Adventure in December, really enjoyed it, had to pick up the second book. And the next book that I have is one that I've been wanting for so long and just could never get my hands on, and that is These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner, and I've heard just nothing but good things about this book. And it's apparently like Titanic in space, and that's really interesting to me. The next book I have is Requiem by Lauren Oliver, and this is book 3 in the Delirium trilogy. I read Delirium in October of 2013. Jeez. And I have Pandemonium. I haven't continued on with the series yet, but I do want to. I'm hoping it'll be one of the series that I finish this year. And the next book that I have is Avalon by Mindy Arnett. I did just haul one of her other books, The Nightmare Affair, in December, and I've heard good things about that one, but I've heard even better things about this one, particularly from Lainey over at Ginger Reads Lainey. She calls this Fast and Furious in space, and I've also heard it basically described as Firefly, and I just started watching Firefly with a friend, and I'm loving it, so I can't wait to see Firefly in book 4. The next book that I have is The Darkest Part of the Forest by Holly Black, and this is a standalone, I think it's a paranormal book, about this boy who they find in a forest who has horns, and it's supposed to have to do with fairies, I think, and it sounds so cool. And I read my first book by Holly Black last year, which was The Coldest Girl in Cold Town, which was on my honorable mentions for my top 10 books of 2014, so I knew that I wanted to pick this one up when I heard about it, and I had it pre-ordered, and I can't wait to read it soon. This is near the top of my list. However, this next book is the one that is literally the next on my TBR, and that is Fairest by Marissa Meyer, which is Queen Lavanna's story and the prequel novella to the Lunar Chronicles, and I just can't wait to read this. And this book is stunning. The cover is quite beautiful, and when it's naked, it matches the rest of the books, which is very nice. And the end papers are the frickin' Lunar Kingdom, and it's stunning. And finally, the last book that I got in January was Seraphina by Rachel Hartman, and I've been wanting to read this for a while because I know it's about dragons, and dragons are so cool. And the second book is finally coming out soon, and I've heard so many people talking about this recently, particularly Katrina from Little Book Owl and Sam from over on Thoughts on Tomes, and they both really enjoyed it, so I can't wait to pick this up. And those are all of the books that I got in January. I got a total of 16 books, which is quite a bit, but after this month, I'm not going to be buying much, so yeah, it'll be my last large book haul. Have you read any of the books that I mentioned in this video? If so, leave your thoughts down below. I respond to every comment on my videos, and I absolutely love hearing from you. And I hope to see you soon with a new video. Bye.